Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all well and having a wonderful day and you're looking forward to your weekend. If you're new here, I'm Jo. I do craft videos. I do 3 a week, and then I do a Poundland haul every fortnight. Obviously, due to everything that's going on in the world, I'm not doing my Poundland hauls at the moment, but once we get sorted, then I'll start doing them again. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you leave a comment, I'll always reply. And if you're not subscribed and you want to join our family and friends, then it'd be wonderful if you would subscribe. If you're returning, as always, my friends, welcome back. I hope you're all doing well and keeping safe. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed today's video when I created this little miniature garden scene in a frame or box. I did make the trellis and the bench. It is the previous video to this one, so I'm continuing from there. But yeah, let's get into it. So this is the frame or the box that I'm using. I picked it up in a charity shop. I paid £1.99 for it, and I'm going to take the lid off and take the glass out, and I'm going to spray paint this white. I'm going to use some of the spray paint from Poundland. It's the auto spray paint and it's £1 a tin. I'm going to do a couple of coats, and I'm just going to make sure that I completely spray paint it all. I was just going to use masking tape to cover the glass, but because it's quite deep and it's set and there's edging around the glass, I just thought it'd be easy to take it out, and I didn't put it back in the end. I decided to leave it out at the end of the project. So yeah, I'm going to go and do that. So it's now dry, and I've not done the inside of the lid and I've not done the bottom of the frame, but I've done it all around the outside. So we can get on to the next section. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to paint the inside. I'm going to paint it in a real pale acrylic blue paint. I've just mixed some blue and some white together. I'm going to do a couple of coats. I'm going to do the inside around the edging except from the bottom, because I'm going to be sticking some stuff on it. And I'm just going to do a couple of coats, use a hairdryer to dry it in between coats, and then I will be back. So it's dry now, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the bottom bit, and I'm just going to paint the front in a dark green. I'm going to be sticking some fake grass that I've got. If you haven't got any, then obviously you can just paint it in acrylic paint, but I'm just going to do 2 coats, let it dry. And now once it's dry, I can start to add my grass. I got this from Wish. I ordered it a few months ago. I paid a couple of pounds for it to be delivered. And all I'm going to do now is just measure out the inside of the box. And it's just over 3 centimetres. So I'm just going to measure on the back, mark it, cut it to make sure that it's the right size. And then I'll glue it in with a hot glue gun. So now the grass is stuck in place. There is a small gap where I've cut the grass, but once the lid of the box is back in place, you won't be able to see that. And now I'm going to stick in my trellis and my bench. Again, if you want to make these, it's the video before this showing you how to make these out of craft sticks and a few fake leaves and flowers. So now I'm just going to glue this in the center, and once I've done that and it's dry, we can get on to the next part. So I'm really happy with how it's looking, and now we can start to work on the next section. But first I'm going to pop the lid back on. I'm going to put the screws back in place, and everything's back in place except from the glass. I'm going to leave the glass out. So now I'm going to make some little trees in pots to go on either side of the trellis, and I'm going to use some card to do these and some craft sticks. But first I picked up a coin, and I'm just making sure that it will fit in the gap either side of the trellis. And all I'm going to do is take a ruler and a piece of A4 white card. I'm just going to draw a length of card that's the width of the ruler. cut that with a pair of scissors. And then I'm going to cut that into 2. And then I'm just going to use the coin as a base to wrap the card around. So I'm basically making a small tube. And then once I've wrapped it round, I'm just going to push the coin out the bottom and then glue the end in place. I'm going to do 2 of these because I want a pot on each side of my trellis. And this will be our base to stick our craft sticks to. So there's one. And I'm just going to secure the bit on the inside as well with a little bit of glue. So now I've got my 2 little tubes. I'm going to use some of the craft sticks from Asda. You get 150 in a box, and these are tinier than the normal popsicle sticks from Poundland. And they're a lot easier to cut as well. They're not as thick. So all I'm going to do now is making sure that the curved edge of the craft stick is hanging about 1/2 centimetre over the top of the cardboard. And I'm just going to glue that in place first. And then once it's in place, I'm just going to use the scissors to trim off the excess. So it's about 1/2 centimetre over the end, and now I'm just going to cut off the excess. And then I'm going to continue to work my way around the tube. Again, making sure that the curved edge is just about 1/2 centimetre over. And then glue in place. And I'm going to do exactly the same with both of them. And once I've done that, they are ready for painting. So before I paint them, I'm going to put some bases on the bottom of the tubs, and I'm just going to use some A4 white card. I'm going to glue them to the bottom and then cut around them. So I'm just going to do exactly the same to both of them. Add some hot glue. Stick it on some card and then just use a pair of scissors to cut round. So I'm going to use some of the wooden skewers. These are from the supermarket. It was £1 for a bag of, I think, of 100. And I'm just going to measure, I think I ended up doing 7 centimetres in the end. I started off a little bit larger and then trimmed them down to the size that I want. But these are going to be our trunks for our trees. Just going to use a pair of wire cutters to cut them. And then I'm going to use 2 of the small polystyrene balls from Poundland, and I'm just going to place them on top. And then I'm going to paint them in a dark acrylic paint in green. I did 2 coats and then let them dry. So now they're painted green, I'm going to do the trunks in a light brown, and I'm going to paint the tubs in a white acrylic paint. Let them dry and we can get on to the next part. So they're drying, and now I'm going to start to stick the greenery around the outside of the polystyrene balls, and this is from a plant that I picked up from Poundland. They're ideal because they're circular, so they're easy to cover the polystyrene ball. I'm just going to cut sections of it and I'm going to glue them all over like so. So there's our trees done, and now all I'm going to do is glue the bottom of the trunk into the centre of our pot, and that was why we put the base on, so we've got something to stick it to. Just going to hold that in place until it dries. And now, just to finish them off, I'm going to use a little bit of this twine. And I got this from another bargain shop. I paid £1.99 for 3 rolls of it. I know you can get it from Poundland in the garden section, and I'm sure you could probably get it from quite a few different places. So I've just gone around 3 times at the bottom, and I'm going to do the same near the top. And there is our trees in our pots done. So really happy with how they look, and like I said, they're going to sit on either side of the trellis in the frame, so we can get on to the next step. So now I've decided what colour I'm actually going to do the front of the frame. I'm going to do it in a dark grey, not a dark grey, a lighter grey. And I'm also deciding whether I want to put the trees at the front or if I'm going to put them next to the trellis. In the end, I put them next to it, but I'm going to go and paint them and let it dry. So now I'm happy with the front of the frame. I'm going to start to decorate it. So I'm going to do exactly the same on either side at the top. I'm going to start with a large green leaf and just pop that in the corner. And then I'm going to use some smaller darker green leaves, and I'm going to put 3 of them overlapping in the center, so 1 on either side and then 1 in the middle. Then I'm just going to add 2 of these blue flowers, 1 on either side. And then I'm just going to glue them so that the ends are on the edge of the frame. And I'm going to do the same with the other one. And then to finish it off, I'm just going to add a white flower in the center, and I'm going to pop a little bit of purple gypsy grass around the outside of the white flower. So I've done one side, I'll do the other one in a bit, but first of all, I'm going to add some lights. This is a set that I picked up from Poundland. It's got 8 lights on it and the battery powered. They take 2 A4 batteries. And I'm just going to take off these little rose gold metal decoration off the lights. I'm going to start in one corner and I'm going to pop 1 in each corner and 1 in the center at the top. I'm going to glue the wire in place so it's all hidden underneath the frame, and the battery pack is at the back. And now I'm going to do exactly the same as I did it in one corner in the other corner. And then to finish it off, I'm just going to add a few bits of leaves in the corner that we had left, and a few other bits of greenery, and then some of the purple gypsy grass and the blue flowers as well, just to finish it off. And here it is. I'm really happy with it. It just reminds me of spring. I really wish I had a garden so I could sit outside. But yeah, really happy with it. This is what it looks like with the lights on as well. I decided not to put the glass back in it because I didn't want it to glare. But yeah, really happy with how it turned out. And it was a fun little project and something a little bit different. So I'm glad I added the lights. I'm going to take it into the hallway now so you can see what it looks like when it's lit up. But I hope you've enjoyed today's video, guys. I will see you on Monday for my next one. And yeah, really happy with it. So take care for now. Love you loads, and I'll see you on Monday. Bye.